this podcast, my main man, bantamweight, UFC, Chris Gutierrez. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Excited. It's fight week. It's right here, Saturday night. Burns versus Woodley, Apex, Las Vegas. How pumped are you to be back on a UFC card?
I'm happy, man. I'm really happy. It's been a long road, but we're here, and I'm excited.
Yes, sir. Actually, talk about that long road. I saw it on one of your Instagram posts or stories about the whole knee surgery, right? And I saw the video and looked into it. Whoever made that video, it's a great piece. Really was a great piece. But how are you physically? I know it's a long road, like you said. So how are you physically and mentally coming into this fight?
Man, I feel great, man. Obviously, anytime an athlete, or not even an athlete, man, in general, anytime anyone has a surgery, especially one that takes you out, man, it sucks.
Right.
And I had to pull myself together and get out of that little dark spot I was in, and to be where I'm at now, with the recovery, man, it taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot to listen to my body. There's times to push through things, but there's also times to be like, you know what, I might need to listen to my body a little bit.
Right.
And I got to heal some bumps and bruises that I've been having, and that's the important part.
Absolutely, my man. Probably the last 2 weeks of podcast here, we just had Glover Teixeira on, Phil Daru, one of the best performance coaches in this, in the MMA sphere, right? And a lot of the things we've been talking about is not even physically, but mentally, right? Bantamweight, almost everyone in there is, 155. They cut 50, 20 pounds to get to 135. You guys are usually 5'5" to 5'9", you know what I mean? Some is 5'10" with a little bit of reach. But usually guys in a better mental game and going into fight week and how they're feeling takes the edge. It's those vets sometimes get the wins going. You're undefeated in the octagon, right? 2-0 in the UFC. How is it? Can you tell the people that maybe don't get it that there's so much mental aspect of the UFC game, especially more than even physically?
Yeah, man. I always say 90% of it is mental, 10% is the physical part.
Right.
And I believe that full on that 90% of it is the fight is here, and if you think about it, man, the fun part is actually going out there showcasing what you've been learning.
Right.
But we flip it around. We make it where it's the other way around, and we make fighting bigger than what it really is. A fight is just a fight. So
right.
we make it so much bigger, and oh man, this guy it is all that. But we get in our own heads.
Right. You versus Morales, like that 15 minutes, everyone tells me that's the fun part. That's the part that you guys put in all the hard work, all the travel and all these scars. The 15 minutes underneath the lights, that's the fun part, Let's hit on that card. I love it. When did you kind of get the rumblings that you were going to be fighting? Boom, May 30th, Saturday, Apex. Because it came quick. It was a really fast card.
It was. Today's Sunday, Friday.
Wow.
Friday, yeah, we got the call. And they were like, "Hey, what's your weight at?" And I told them, and they were like, "Want to fight?" And I was like, "Duh!" Been training my ass off, Like I've still been doing everything that I'm supposed to do. So I've been in shape the whole time. I've been working out. I've been training, sparring, everything. So I would be dumb not to accept the fight. And honestly, like I said, man, it's been what 7 months, almost 8 months. Like,
right.
I'm ready, man.
Absolutely. When they called you, they asked you your weight. You said at least 5 pounds less, right? The old fight trick. You're 5 pounds.
No. I actually couldn't get away from it. So I got a text message from my coach that was like, "What's your weight? No bullshit."
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, so when he said that, I knew like I had to be for real. So I told him. So, and then he was like, when we met up, he was like, "Oh, let's get on the scale real quick." So I was like, "Oh," so I couldn't lie about it. So I mean, we were good at that point when he said no bullshit. And I was like, "Okay, I gotta be for real."
Right.
So.
I talk to so many fighters every single day, and they get that call, and usually short term. They said some of them now, because they want the FaceTime, you know what I mean? They want to see you on the scale. Even the picture, you can have someone else sit on the scale. They want FaceTime now. So it's a lot of, we actually broke the news. Brock Weaver's fighting Roberts on that card. We had Brock Weaver on Instagram Live Thursday, Friday night. Same thing, man. He's been looking for the fight, especially Jacksonville. It seemed like Jacksonville sparked a lot of things. It's like MMA's back, the UFC's back. It was a great week. Glover Teixeira, Gaethje, Bryce Mitchell, Overeem, so much highlights from last week. Seems like everyone's itching to get back in there. And now, a lot of short notice fights. Is there a fight on that card, other than Woodley Burns that you're like, wow, that's a banger. This is one I definitely am excited about.
Yeah, my teammate, Brandon Royval.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Short notice again, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's
right?
What is it?
He was a LFA champ, right?
Yeah, he is the LFA champ, yeah. And
that's a stud.
Yeah, man, that's the I'm excited for that one. So like, even I had another interview and so like, what fight are you excited? And I'm like, him, that fight. I'm excited to watch him fight.
Wow. Do you think that will help you guys? Teammates having good mojo, a little bit going together, and just kind of like being with someone, being comfortable. You think that will benefit you guys?
Most definitely it does. I think it's pretty awesome that he gets to go in there on his first fight with a teammate who's a veteran, and I've already this is gonna be my fourth one under the UFC banner, and man, I would have loved to have a teammate, a veteran in the game when I fought, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, we get to vibe off each other, and I get to jump the card off. I think I'm the first fight of the night. I don't know if it'll stay like that. I'm sure it probably will. It doesn't matter to me. I'll be the first or second, third, fourth. It don't matter. As long as I get to get in there and get it done, I'm happy.
Right. I believe all the fights are on ESPN, Big Boy Network. Some of the guys always tell me they're like, they remember watching ESPN 10 years ago, and you're watching Vince Carter highlights. You know what I mean? You're watching Kobe Bryant highlights. It's like when you're on ESPN, it's a whole nother, ball of wax. I would love to talk to you about the bantamweights really quick. The whole Henry Cejudo thing. Is he retiring? Is he not? We'll get into that later, I guess. But, they made a couple big bantamweight fights. Sanhagen versus Sterling. That's coming up in a couple weeks. Cody Nola versus Raphael's coming up. So a lot of big fights in front of you in the bantamweight division. Is there one that caught your eye, or you're really watching, or are you really kind of, hey, I'm taking care of my business and everything else will unfold itself?
Exactly like you said. I go in there and I take care of me. I mean, I know who's all in the bantamweight division. It's only, it's in the. If you look at how many people there are in the world and then how many bantamweights there are in the UFC, it's not a lot.
Right.
So,
right.
So to be amongst one of those is a blessing. But like I said, I know who's all in there. I don't worry about anyone. They're going to go out and do what they do. Before I can even get in that picture, I got to go out and do what I do.
Right.
Saturday next week.
Right. And, no offense to Henry, great champion, but I do like a lot of the new blood. Seems like bantamweights for the rest of this year, at least, will be really entertaining, really fun. A lot of new fights, a lot of big fights. And like yourself, you're on a 2-fight win streak. Take care of business Saturday night. 3-fight win streak. The fourth, they give you, someone up there. They give you someone in that top 8, 10, 12. You never know. End of the year, early 2021 could be right in that mix.
Yes, sir. I believe so.
Right. Oh man, I'm so excited. Apex. Have you been to the Apex or fought in the Apex before?
I have not. I think this is like the first fight ever since it got built.
Oh, at the Apex?
Yeah, I believe so because they were building it originally for the Contender Series.
Right. And I think Contender had it last year there. The last season was at the Apex.
Was it? I thought the Apex was like brand new.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I just talk for a living.
No, well, I mean, last time because I fought last year, and my debut, and they were like, I remember being at the PI, and they were saying that they're building the new Apex,
right?
For the Contender Series. You're right. It might have been. It might have had that one Contenders one on there, but who knows? All I know is gonna be my first time at the Apex. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And are you pumped or have you thought about fighting with kind of no fans yet? I don't know if you heard, there's a lot of banter at Jacksonville that they heard John Anik and DC and Paul Felder. Like, they were really hearing all the commentators and they were moving, stuff around. Have you thought about that yet, or not worried about it? I'm just ready to, lose 12, 10 pounds and then get into a scrap.
That's it, man. At the end of the day, like I say, I'm not really worried about what the audience, the spectators, the announcers. My job is go in there and win the fight.
Right.
And that's all I'm concentrating on Saturday.
Does it mean more to you to try to get the finish, or a win's a win and you just keep moving up this ladder?
I mean, of course, at the end of the day, a win's a win. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
A win is a win. But if you can get a stoppage, it just gives you like an extra point. It just it puts like a little. It's like getting an exclamation mark versus a period. You know what I mean? It's like that stamp on there. And of course, I'm always looking for the finish. Sometimes these guys don't want to fall or they don't want to tap. Makes it a little harder.
Right. I just talked to Angela Hill's teammates, and a lot of people thought she won the fight versus Claudia last week in Jax, and they're like, man, Angela should have finished it. Like, she should have got the job done. And I say to people, I'm like, guys, Claudia is the 5th or 6th best in the world in the division. She wants to get the finish too. Like, these guys and girls, they don't want to just get finished now. They're trying to win on the other side as well.
Exactly. It's like they're not just gonna let me punch them and they fall and be like, okay, that's it. I wish that'd be nice, but it's not reality.
Absolutely, my man. Man, we really do. We appreciate your time. It's fight week. Cannot wait. Saturday night, Apex, Woodley Burns in the main event. You versus Morales. It's going to be a great fight. I think it is. I think it's opening the show. Yeah, man, we appreciate your time. The floor is yours if you want to, any sponsors, any plugs, anything you want to shout out. Platform's yours, my man.
Yeah, man, I want to thank my management team at Radio Sports, my gym, Factory X, Mark Montoya. I want to thank some of my sponsors, Ball Wash, Live Balls Out. Also, ISO Right. I want to thank Comments from the Peanut Gallery. Yeah, and then, you can find me on social media, Chris El Guapo Gutierrez or El Guapo MMA. And, I appreciate you having me on, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, brother, man. Stay healthy this week. Have a great fight week. Be there mentality-wise, and we'll watch you Saturday night. ESPN, get the job done, my man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.